again. It logged me out. Hi, Instagram. This is the Composite. I'm your host, Deanne Battle. We're in our third season. This is episode 5, take 2. Trying this again. I hope you're having a good evening. It's Thursday, so I hope you have a great weekend ahead of you. I was meant to go live earlier, and I would just, I've been trying to get it done without caffeine for the last couple of days, and you see how that is going. I'm trying, though. I'm trying. You don't want to do too much with that. But all of that being said, I was like, I don't think I have coherent thoughts right now, even though it is 11:30 in the morning. And so I thought I'd be a little bit more coherent right now after teaching class. So you'll have to let me know how I do. So I wanted to talk about something serious, but it's like I'm tickled sometimes in moments where adults do things that, like, even middle schoolers know, okay, this is not gonna turn out well. And so what am I referring to? Well, I was trying to get the article pulled up here, but Beyonce has released, she'll be releasing, by the end of the month, I believe, part 2 of her Renaissance series. And so she had 2 album covers, and I addressed one of them because people were like, oh, she's got the American flag, blah, 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 blah. And then if I could pull it up, I would pull up this woman's tweet. She had a really great, expressive tweet, really just trying to articulate how patriotism as a Black American is a really complicated topic, and something that we don't navigate lightly. And so I think just, looking at that as an interpretation is important. Like, sometimes I feel as if people outside of Black American, meaning with an origin in the American, North American United States region, yes, the Black culture that is concentrated within the United States of America, I think oftentimes people read erroneous or nefarious purposes into it in an ahistorical way. I mean, just in my opinion, it's ahistorical to see a Black woman with an American flag and assume that she means exactly the same thing as when you see Donald Trump holding it, or or what are the traditional associations or the people who have traditionally been allowed to lay claim to the American flag. That's a complicated discussion, and people's responses were weird. But anywho, there was a secondary cover, and that one she had, beads going in her hair and everything. Very, what is the woman's name? Patrice Rushen. Send me, forget me nots. The woman who used to have the really long braids and the beads. So the hair of the album cover was giving a bit of that. And I don't know exactly what Erica said, but I guess Erica said something to the effect that Beyonce was biting off of her. And then the part that I saw that I was just like, oh my God, our society is so ridiculous. She was just like, Jay, you gonna let this lady and these bees do this to me? my gosh. Why am I laughing so hard? Because it's everybody knows what the deal is with that situation. Leave that lady. You better leave that lady and her bees all the way alone. Because it's like, damn, they got Erica too. Because, Erica, she rolls a little tough. Like, when you look at, excuse me, her relationship history, let's say, and, it's just like, wow, the guys that she's had kids with or just the guys that she's dated. And, I've heard people joke like, oh, does Erica have like mind control, something else control? All of that comes to the fray. And so it's just like, oh, like, does she use reverse psychology on these guys? Like, what's going on? It's just like, but not them bees still got Those bees still got you. Oh my God. Our society. So silly. I mean, listen, I don't know why Beyonce hate has become a sport, but that shit is a contact sport. So if you're going to go into the ring, if you're going to go into the arena, please be well informed because Erica is fighting for her life right now. And it was just such an unforced era. Oh, wow. I didn't really think I was going to get that much mileage out of it, but it's just entertaining me because it was like, okay, there's only one way for this to end, and I think we're all aware of it. And she still did it anyway. I mean, I guess like, people like Erica or Azalea or Jaguar Writer, all these people, like they want to just feel like, okay, well, you know, does it make sense for somebody to get to a level or get on a platform where you can't say anything to them anymore? And to that, I would answer no. Like, I don't think that an artist ever, excuse me, outgrows a healthy and constructive critique. I think the problem is when like the critique comes from a place where it's just like, oh, damn, you really just don't want to see this person win. I mean, throwing shade because, Beyonce had the same hairstyle. Even if it was exactly the same hairstyle, okay, so yeah, we know definitely like she borrows heavily and liberally. But again, it's just like, you want them bees though. Do you want those bees? Because those bees are guarding the vault. And so you might say like, oh, the queen bee, she has pilfered this outfit. She has pilfered this hairstyle. She's pilfered this song and she's taken it back to her lair. It's back in her layer now and you're screwed, right? Because once those bees come out, it's done. It's done, Erica. Let it go. I don't care. I don't care if she used the same like pack of hair. She went to the stylist that you had, however, 15, 20 years ago. She found the same stylist and that stylist like had hair left in that pack and used that same pack on Beyonce. I don't care if it was the same pack of hair and she did that same hairstyle and it was the same exact hairstyle you had, same makeup, same foundation, same everything. Is it really worth it to say something? Because now you're in anaphylactic shock. Yes, anaphylactic, I believe. Shock because the bees done stung you, and it's not a good feeling at all, at all. And so that's what I meant in terms of, sometimes as an adult and you're sitting back and you're like, the middle schoolers that I had last summer would know better than this. Or, maybe she was just sitting around smoking a blunt and she was just bored. And she was like, I don't got anything else going on. Poke at the bees. Buzz, buzz. Poke, poke, poke. Still wasn't a good idea. But she tried it. And I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying that it just, at this point, it... If you were going to die on the hill of a Beyonce critique, I would just have it be something more substantial than, she stole your hairstyle, or she's biting off of the way you dress or something like that. Like, I would have it be something more substantial. I mean, at the time when Beyonce borrowed from Khalees, I didn't necessarily agree with how she said it, but the fact that Khalees said something, I was like, okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But that, in my opinion, is not petty, right? Because that's, from her perspective, that's about her artistry, that's about, her intellectual property. So that's a discussion, right, that you should always have. But if it's like, oh, those earrings from 2 years ago and blah, 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 like whatever you want to say. And again, even if it is true, don't want the bees, because they would bring the stings. They're not bringing honey at all. It's no good. Nasty, nasty work. All right. Yeah, this computer's still not going to cooperate with me. I've just debated on how to resolve this situation, because I do need hardware and software upgrades. First, we upgrade the hardware, and then it does the software. See? I need so many upgrades. I don't even know how many upgrades that I need right now. But all of that being said, I do need a new computer and stuff. And I've seen other folks on YouTube and stuff where they add their Cash App and they raise money. And I don't have a problem conceptually with them doing that. But I would have a problem conceptually bringing myself to do that. I don't know what the blockage is. But yeah, I might get unblocked soon, because I really wanted to be able to see this article. And then a few other things, like I mentioned, RE, patriotism, and the ways in which it is complicated. But, we're not allowed to have complicated discussions anymore. I won't even say nuanced, because I feel like that word is butchered as well. I feel like when people say nowadays that they want to have a nuanced discussion, it's the translation of that is, I don't actually want to have a discussion that is multifaceted and multi-layered. What I actually want to do is I want to be able to occupy the contrarian position. So do the devil's advocate argument without seeming like an annoying asshole, which, I mean, if you're just doing a devil's advocate argument just to do it, then, I mean, that speaks for itself. But it's like you want the ability to do it without being judged for it. And that's the part that needs to be nuanced. It's not that if there are two people who are party to the debate, let's say, person A and person B. It's not that person A or person B is doing something out of the ordinary, but the way that people utilize the word nuanced is more like, oh, I should just be able to say anything without you taking offense. And if you take offense, it's because you don't have a nuanced perspective about the issue. When, sometimes you're just being a contrarian asshole. That can be true occasionally as well. C'est la vie. Yeah, let's see. Try to get the computer started one more time. Because there were a couple of articles, especially I'm thinking about the Texas border, and different policy stopgap measures, but see, that's the thing. I don't know if they're stopgap measures, right? Because when we're looking at the migrant situation in the United States, I don't know at this point, because the Democrats and the Republicans both don't want to do anything useful to advance the issue, because they don't want to give the opposite side a win before November. And so you have an accumulation of local issues happening at the municipal and state level, but allegedly federal say goes, whatever they say goes. And it's really hard for me to understand. And that's why I wanted to look at a couple of articles that I found, because I'm trying to read between the lines to see, is Texas the canary in the coal mine, meaning that because our federal bodies have basically abandoned this situation, is Texas a canary in the coal mine in terms of showing us a better way forward or a worse way forward with this? And I'm not sure. So that was something that I wanted to talk about. And then definitely Haiti. Definitely want to talk about Haiti. So let's see here. Yeah, this is not gonna go here. So I gotta get creative. I've either I could, like, on my phone, print articles before I come on to chat here. But that's gonna kill a lot of trees. I'll find a way. Out and around, I usually do. I was talking to a friend about this. I said, I don't give myself credit enough for being resourceful, even though I am. The problem is that sometimes you just get to a point where it's like, I really wish I did not have to be resourceful at this moment. But c'est la vie. Okay. All right. Nope, this is a no-go. So I am going to wrap it up. But this has been the Composite, Season 3, Episode 5. I am your faithful and valiant and spectacular, dare I say, host, Deanne Battle. All right. And let's see. So we're going into Friday. I've been really terrible about doing any shows on the weekend, about doing anything over the weekend. It's just, I am becoming reacquainted with rest, as a reified concept. I'm familiar with rest as a guilty pleasure. It should not be a guilty pleasure for anyone. We should all have access to rest. And then I've been, reading I haven't finished reading the Trisha Hersey book about naps. And the title is so simple. It's like Nap Ministry or something like that. And I'm blanking because I'm tired. Um, but all of that being said, what does your life look like when you just say, okay, this is a moment where I'm shutting down for business? My body's like, okay, Deanne, you're done for right now. You need to rest and recharge. So if that's happening anyway, why not give yourself over to it and say, yes, I do need to rest. And so I've been doing that, I want to say since probably like after Thanksgiving, because the semester was closing down for me. A lot of my students had already, passed out and registered for other courses and things like that. So it was like the first time that I had a moment to just clear my head and just say, oh, okay, yeah, I needed to rest. And so since then, you know, sometimes I'll still have like moments where I'm just like, no, I need to push through. But I've just been, in those moments where it's like, I can't go a step further. It's like, so then I sit and I rest and I hydrate. This is all new conceptually, which is sad, but it is. And so that's why I haven't really been doing the show on the weekends. I enjoy this time that I've put aside for myself, that I believe that I'm investing in creating a modicum of a platform here. I don't know what that ultimately, like the final stages of it will look like, but we're working on it. And so I do enjoy that, but it does take a certain level of energy, which, after a week of interfacing, with people at work, and, sometimes if I speak to people on the phone and stuff like that, sometimes I just need to power down. And I've been giving myself permission to do that, like I said, since a little bit after Thanksgiving, just to have quiet time, where I'm not trying to fill that time. And it's been nice. I think it's helped me recalibrate some negative thought loops that I was experiencing. So I really appreciate that. And so I would suggest that. All of that being said, I most likely will not go live this weekend. It's like a whole roundabout story to say. I will probably not go live this weekend. But I'll think about it. I won't feel guilty, but I'll think about it. So I've got to give myself credit for the baby steps. And that's what we're doing here at the Composite. Hang around. We'll set the bar low enough for you to casually just step over. We're a good company to keep. All right? Take care.